Hey, what's going on, Facebook family? Sean here, and I'm here on Miami Beach in Florida, and just enjoying some time down here and getting my thoughts together. Got a couple business dealings I'm conducting down here, and got a conference that I'll be attending. But man, I'm just sitting here reflecting and gathering some thoughts for another book I'm writing. But as I sit here and reflect, I just reflect back to when I was in school. I remember a high school counselor who had told me one time that the best I'd amount to would be a warehouse worker because of my grades. Now, here's what I realized. There's three different types of education. You have what's called the scholastic education. This is where we learn how to read, write, arithmetic, just basic school stuff. This is designed to teach us to get a job where we exchange our time for someone else's money. The second type of income is what's known as professional education. And a professional education is more so geared towards a particular profession, whether you're going to be an engineer, an attorney, electrician, things of that nature. But this usually puts people in a self-employed position or working a higher end job, if you will. But you're still trading time for money. It's just that you may trade more time to make more money. And the third type of education that I realized was the most valuable is what's called a financial education. This is where you learn how to understand finances, get your business acumen up to par, where you can now have money make money for you. Now, you don't have to go chasing money, so now you have time on your side. Now, we all got 24 hours in a day, but it's how you use that time. One thing I do is I do what's called mini days. Mini days. I take from 6 a.m. to 12 noon, and I can compress a entire 24-hour workday into those 6 hours. It's kind of like guys in the military. You've heard us say, hurry up and wait. Well, it's the same thing. I get everything done by 12 o'clock, and then from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I can compress another 24 hours from 12 noon to 6 p.m. And then from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, I compress a third day. So I actually compress 3 workable days into one 24-hour work day. So most people, they try to compete with me on a time clock, but I'm tripling my time on a daily basis. So in a month's time, I typically have 90 days of work that I can compress into a 130-day schedule. So this gives me over 1,000 days a year in a 365-day work year. So oftentimes people ask, well, Sean, how do you blow past the competition? Well, first of all, I don't compete, I dominate. But I do this because I've learned how to manipulate and fold time, to bend time in my favor. Now, I don't have an extra 24 hours, I don't have 25 hours in my workday. It's just that I know how to be a good steward of the time that I have and maximize it to the fullest. And as I sit out here on the beach, there's a lot of people out here, as you guys can see. Everybody's just out here kind of laying back and everything. It's Friday afternoon, and it wasn't always like this for me. Many of you guys have heard me say before that, I had a little short bout of having a homeless situation for a minute. I had an extreme financial situation, but 3 things changed for me. First thing that changed for me was, I often tell people, man, I changed the books that I read. I changed the material that I put in my mind. And I started diluting the negative and infusing more positive than negative that was going in. The second thing that I did was I changed who I associated with. Oftentimes people say, well, Sean, why do the wealthy get wealthy and the poor get poor? Well, it's because they hang with each other. Wealthy people get wealthy because they hang with wealthy people and get wealthy ideas. And broke people stay broke because broke people share broke ideas with each other. So it's important who you allow to put word seed in your mind. Third thing that changed for me was, and I think this is one of the biggest things that changed for me, was what I did with my spare time. You have to be able to do productive things in what's considered non-productive time. So a lot of times when people get off work, they maybe watch TV, get into sports and stuff like that, but I channeled that time differently and put it into situations where I can improve myself, self-development. And those 3 things changed my living, my lifestyle, my finances, all that cool stuff. And, I also mastered 3 money skills that I think are highly important. And the first money skill is being able to create income. And not just create income, but create high skill income. Now, notice I said a high skill income and not a high job income, because there's a vast difference. A high income skill is a skill that typically you can create at least $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year. This is what's known as a high income skill. Now, once I did that, the next thing I had to learn how to do was to be able to hold on to money. You know, oftentimes we get money and we want to go spend it. There's a thing called a financial bounce. In communities that look like me, unfortunately, we have a financial bounce of 20 minutes. And a financial bounce is when money gets in your hand, how fast does it leave your community? There's other communities that have an 8-day bounce, 12-day bounce, and there's one community in particular that has a 17 to 21-day bounce to the finances before it leaves their community. This is called group economics. It's one thing that, you know, many communities have to figure out if you want to be able to master the money monster, if you will. But those are some of the things that changed for me, was being able to learn those 3 money skills. And the third money skill is, after you've made the money, you're holding on to the money, but you don't hold on to money just to hold on to it. You don't save just to save, but you save to invest. So the third money skill is to know how to duplicate or to cultivate and multiply the money that you've created. So that's one of the key things to establish wealth. More importantly, generational wealth. You have to be able to continue growing that money, because, see, money attracts itself to people who know how to multiply it or how to duplicate it. It's just like a relationship. You know, if you treat money bad, it'll make sure it stay away from you. But if you treat it good, handle it well, you'll get great results from your money. So these are just some things that I was just sitting out here reflecting on. I'm always telling people that success leaves clues. The videos that I put out, my books, all type of content that I put out, there are secret clues in there that give you the secrets of how my family do the things that we do, and how many other families are able to do the same thing, to be able to have both time and money to do some cool things in life that you want to do, and not be bogged down to just working a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but you want to be able to do things on your terms, be able to have finances to do what you want to do. You know, if you have to go out of town for a family emergency, that you have the finances and the time, and don't have to get permission, if you will, from a boss to do the things that are important to you and your family. So I'm just going to sit here and reflect a little bit more, ready to sit down and take some notes that I want to put into this next book that I want to go ahead and start writing this weekend. And just waiting for the family to get here. They should be heading to the airport in Atlanta here in just a couple hours. So we're going to have some fun here this weekend, and look forward to seeing all you guys at the top. It's Bottoms Just Too Proud.